QuikTok.
Have you watched any of the hearing?
Yeah, Pam Bondi's been tripping.
You've been seeing little clips here and there. Yeah. She did so horribly. I actually felt sorry for her for 1 minute. And which is weird because I despise her, like from the place where that you could only hate somebody that you love or whatever. Like I just think she's such a bad person. I almost felt sorry for her. She looked so out of her element for a second, like she couldn't even answer the question. But I have a I can't fully believe that. Like I feel like half of this is like we're seeing it at face value. We're seeing everybody feel the way they feel about the files being released, and then half of it, I'm like, they have to know that this was going to be the reaction. Like they have to know that people are going to dissect the files and go through them and talk about them and go crazy. I mean, they had to know this. Like, so what's the real play here?
I don't know, but I was loving watching Jasmine Crockett. Oh,
See, that's another one I don't like very much myself because
Pam Bondi.
yeah, it was nice to see somebody that Pam Bondi desperately despises get in on her, get in the whole thing. So okay, well tell me what you learned on the Epstein files since we last spoke. I just want to know. Like I know because you don't have time to delve into them, which is like 90% of the
I purposely am trying to keep myself out of the file just for like reasons of like I don't know how much I can digest at one time because you know me and children and it's like so much. I think the last thing that I saw that like completely repulsed me was the videos of both Trump and Epstein in the room with the little girls with the blindfolds on, and they're jumping around and they're picking. And then I've seen the ones of the children and the Asian man, I think he is, who's like putting the kid in the bathtub, like drowning in the bathtub.
That's weird. I haven't been looking at any of the videos because I'm just reading through everything, just like the reading part.
These kids have to be like 10 and under. There's about 15 of them in a room. There's an audience of about 3 adults, and there's really like maybe a 6'2" man who's intimidating these children, and they're all hiding in a corner, like screaming. And then he takes one of the kids, puts them in a bathtub, and he's drowning the kid over and over. And all the other kids are like horrified. I'm like, they should all die.
Great, yeah. And it's all of them. It's all of them. It's all of them.
It's a lot. Like the shit that I've seen is a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
And
I haven't been. Yeah, I have not been watching.
The weird part, because at this point, I can't tell because so much information overload.
Of course, on purpose.
Stuff directly from the files, and or if these videos are made up, sci-fi, AI, some other issue, like because
that's a hella good point. That's such a good point. So I say that the way to tell is like to just go to the files. You know, like when I saw that one about them doing the hunt. I couldn't find it in the subreddit that I told you about. And then I went to the DOJ and I found it in that. And it's so weird that we're going to go to the people that have been lying to us for forever to find out the truth. But in this case, we're referencing the files they put out. So that's what we have to do, I think. So it's pretty easy to do. So two of the craziest things that I've heard since we last spoke, there's been a lot. It's been so much, which makes me happy that I'm really happy that people are out here in it and reporting on it and all that stuff. But one of the craziest things I heard was what those dental chairs were for.
Oh, what'd you hear about those?
So they are to alter the teeth so they don't bite. The children don't bite.
By alter, what does that mean? They make them toothless?
I guess that's what I'm assuming. They take out, yeah.
That's fucking gross.
Yeah. They thought of everything, I guess. They're just so fucking. It's just. Oh my god! The other thing that I heard that was so. It's one of the emails, and it says, "Ask blank about my trumpet plants in the nursery." And at first, I was thinking trumpet plants don't mean trumpet plants, and nursery doesn't mean nursery. I'm trying to think, and then the woman goes on to explain. She's not a botanist, but she's a herbalist. But she has higher education degree in such things, and she said that is where the trumpet plants are what you make scopolamine out of. Do you know what that is? Yeah, so that's why he had trumpet plants, and that makes so much sense. It lends itself to the idea why all these people, claim to have been drugged, but not only that, it makes people do things completely against their will, willfully. So
where Okay, when you're talking about these trumpet plants, where are those supposed to be at?
I don't know, but Jeffrey just in an email, he said to somebody, said, tell blank to,
Oh, with an email. I thought you
yeah,
showed a picture of like a
no. He said, tell
farm or
blank to
something.
ask the nursery about my trumpet plant, something like that. And that trumpet plant, scopolamine, it would make so much sense. And so there's a lot of stuff in there that people are missing because they're focusing on the children as they should be. But there's a lot of stuff about the bio research and the laboratory ties that he had where he was making things that could be detrimental to people that spoke up out against him. So at some point, we're all going to have to take a look at all of these, questionable deaths and stuff, which we did kind of on the first episode, not related to Epstein, but like just there's so many. And there's also so many. I heard that dementia was really like, if you look at the symptoms and the way that it presents itself, it's like mad cow disease, which would be pretty easy for someone to pass along if they didn't like someone. And you have to look,
What do you
I
mean if
don't
they
know.
didn't like someone?
You know, like, didn't like someone. Like, there's a lot like the Clinton
Oh,
kill
they can't.
list.
I'm sorry. You're saying if the elites didn't
Yeah,
like.
exactly, exactly,
I thought
exactly.
I heard that all the way down.
Okay, no.
Okay.
All
Well,
good.
two really interesting facts. I have 2 degrees. One of them is in gerontology, which is the study of aging and dementia, and the other one is
Mm,
actually in botany.
I
So
think
this
that I'm
conversation that we're having right now makes
yeah,
perfect fucking sense to me. So,
yeah.
um, the the what you were just talking about a second ago
The
with
scopolamine.
trumpet plants, I had never heard of it for whatever reasons they're using it. I thought it was like Dramamine, kind of like it's
Oh,
like
that's what well, they use it in Dramamine. They use it just a little bit, which is crazy because Dramamine will knock you on your ass. And you're talking to
exactly so
someone who
so
has
those things
done drugs.
and to knock people out. I don't know if that's how they were using it or if there's something deeper that they do with it to like turn it into something else.
Well, the scopolamine that I learned about was never, I didn't know. I just learned about Dramamine today that they were putting it in motion sickness patches, doctors,
And that's what
with
they use
attention doctors.
that plant for.
Yeah, exactly. Well, scopolamine is that I've known it to be is it's so potent. Like if it's blown on you and you inhale it in the form that they would have used it in, it will make you could literally somebody could look at you and say, go to the ATM and take out all your money, and you would just do it. Like so it Isaac Cappy, who was the number one whistleblower of this entire extravaganza, in my opinion, at least as far as Hollywood's concerned, the way that they reported his death is that he forced himself off a bridge, which is a very weird way to say that someone committed suicide. And every single headline said he forced himself off a bridge. And so the first thing that comes to mind is scopolamine, like someone told him, make yourself jump off of that bridge.
Oh,
And
I
there's
see what you're saying. That somebody would have. Yeah, but why would they even word it like that?
I,
To kill, like he's schizophrenic, and one of him told the other of him to jump off. What the
I
fuck?
have no idea, but that's how all the headlines were. And it always was like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? And how do you guys even know you weren't there? Like, it's just so weird. So those two things were really strange amongst the other billion things. But one thing I've noticed that there's still a lot of people caping for Trump, which is a little mind boggling because it's like, oh, it's not okay. It's not just Trump, y'all. It's all of them, including Trump. It's all of them and Trump. Trump also and them were fucking eating children, allegedly.
It's not a legend.
I think it's not allegedly. But so I'll tell you before I go into the Trump thing all the way, I wanted to show you one thing that I found because I'm always brought into a space of happiness when it comes to humans, when for the most part, I'm just disgusted with them and I give up and everyone's stupid and whatever. And then they do stuff that I'm just like, wow, you're fucking brilliant. And you're gonna be the reason why we win this time. And so one of them is it's an app, it's a AI application that was created by Ian Carroll and his team. Ian Carroll is somebody who's come and done all kinds of great work. He even has an app called Buyer that lets you can scan whatever you buy in the supermarket and not only find out what the nutritional value and stuff all is, but who owns the company, all the scandals involved and stuff, so we can stop buying from those big conglomerates. So he does stuff like that. So this new app that he did can literally go into the Epstein files and dissect it all, just questions, and pull everything together for you. And you can ask a question like, you know, isn't it strange that, I mean, deep dives. I don't even want to give an example because he has an example. So those are two. That's one of the things that I thought was really great. And hats off to him. He wins the internet today because that's when I saw it. But the other one was people using Suno, the song making app, to get their Epstein, you know, whatever. I'll show you. I'll give you an example. So I won't speak on their behalf. I thought it was fabulous. I actually did the same thing, but I did it with the evidence list that nobody's talking about because I feel like people should know what's on the evidence list. It's bananas. We'll go over it sometime, but this is what people are doing here. Hold on one sec. And it's a great way to get like, oops. I know there's a way to make that not.
While you're looking that up, I just happened to look up the
Trumpet.
the trumpet thing,
Uh-huh.
and I noticed that it did say that it's mixed with antidepressants or mixed with alcohol, it becomes a sedation tool.
Right.
So I didn't know that about that by itself, but because I've never thought about, obviously, I've never thought about drugging a child, so I've never thought of what else
Right.
I could do with the medicine.
I know that when I've given Dramamine to people that don't really, they only drink or whatever, they've never really had any other kind of hardcore drug, they think it's like a hard, like they're just like, that's the craziest shit I've ever taken. One person, I gotta let a cat in, sorry.
Okay.
One person in particular, he got so mad. I gave him, we were traveling somewhere and he was getting sick. So yeah, Dramamine is no joke. Like it really does put you straight to sleep. Like if you're traveling, it put me to sleep. It makes me just feel like I just can't even move. So anyway, that's crazy. So, but Jeffrey Epstein seems like the kind of dude that could just go to a store and buy hella Dramamine and they'd be like, oh, it's because you're sick to your stomach, and then never even no repercussion, no investigation. So I don't know why it mattered so much. I'm thinking they were making something way more hardcore, like the ones that I heard about, which it's used by the cartels. Like look up I want to say Liberia. Maybe that's when my daughter told me about it. So Naya told me about the people that were using it, and it was in some sort of militias or cartel or something like that, and they were just taking everyone's money. Like they just have them go to the bank and get out their money. They wouldn't remember it or even know why they did it. Just crazy.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So back to Suno.
How much are they putting in our food to get everybody to just be like, oh yeah, Trump, what a great guy.
So wait, shut up, because I did hear something and I was going to save it for the esoteric side of it, but a guy was saying that, and this is another one of us conspiracy theories, crazy thoughts, which weren't thoughts, they're based on evidence, is that what they're doing, the reason why people aren't getting angry enough is because in the 5G towers, they're sending out a frequency that causes people to be docile. And and then on top of that, confusing us with all the 3 million files that some of them are duplicates, all of them are redacted, like all the stuff. So yeah, they're trying. I can't say it's working, but they're trying. So, okay, here goes this Suno brilliance of human activity today.
I'm curious about a kid from Brooklyn named Jeffrey Epstein. I skipped 2 grades, graduated at 16. Got into an elite math program at NYU. Dropped out and then at 21 was hired to teach physics at the most exclusive private school in Manhattan without a degree. The headmaster was Donald R. OSS veteran, precursor to the CIA, who wrote a novel about elites keeping humans as sex slaves, and who just happens to be the father of William Barr, the attorney general who would oversee the jail where Epstein died 45 years later. Small world. One of those students at the Dalton School where Epstein taught was the daughter of Bear Stearns CEO Alan Greenberg. Epstein told people that relationship got him his Wall Street job. Fired from teaching for poor performance, hired on Wall Street the next day. At Bear Stearns, he rose from junior floor assistant to advising the bank's wealthiest clients, including Edgar Bronfman, president of Seagram's, who would later co-found something called the Mega Group, along with Leslie Wedner and Ronald Lauder, a secret network of billionaire donors coordinating pro-Israel strategy. He joined the Rockefeller partner. It seems that many were fascinated or impressed by Epstein and his connections, which helped him become even more connected. A defense contractor named Douglas Lee's and Nixon's former Attorney General John Mitchell introduced him to Stephen Hoffenberg, who says Lee's recruited Epstein for British intelligence, and Hoffenberg introduced him to Robert Maxwell. Robert Maxwell, media mogul who sold stolen surveillance software called Promise for the CIA and Mossad, document an intelligence asset whose daughter would move to New York and partner with Epstein. The same year he mysteriously fell off his yacht, 6 heads of Israeli intelligence at his funeral. Totally normal for a book publisher. During this same period, Epstein had an Austrian passport with his photo, but a false name and a Saudi address. That's not something you pick up at the post office. That's intelligence tradecraft. One of his clients was Adnan Khashoggi, the middleman, transferring American weapons from Israel to Iran. Iran-Contra, same scandal involving the CIA, same CIA whose precursor employed Donald Barr, same era Bush was running the agency, then the country. And a CIA front airline called Southern Air Transport would later relocate its headquarters to service the brands of Les Werfner, the man who would give Epstein everything. But that's part 2. I'm just curious how a math teacher from Brooklyn ended up with a fake passport, a Rockefeller mentor, a seat at the Trilateral Commission, an intelligence recruitment chain that runs through defense contractors, and a former attorney general, and a direct connection to the man who sold spy software for the CIA and Mossad. And I'm curious why, when they finally arrested him, there were 10,000 videos seized and sealed, 6 million pages where they released maybe half, 10 co-conspirators identified, and only one charge. The CIA director who visited his townhouse now controls all the intelligence, and the president who promised to release everything is attacking the congressman who wrote the Transparency Act. I'm just curious if those files stay sealed, not to protect one man's secrets, but to protect the system that created him.
Grammy.
Such a good primer, though, right?
What song deserves the Grammy?
Right. I wish it would get a Grammy. That would be great. Oh my
The
God.
Grammy. It just needs a Grammy.
It was great.
Whoever made the video deserves a.
I love the
Grammy.
people when they do these things. I'm just like, oh, you make everything a little bit worth it.
That felt like watching Schoolhouse Rock, the actual version.
Right. Right. The real deal. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, I'm Just a Bill was pretty helpful. Like,
It was
that was
funny,
cool.
but
They stopped
it was
doing that because it was too.
helpful, 'cause- Yeah, this was, now we know how the bill became Just a Bill. Yeah, it's like the fucking prequel to Just a Bill.
Right. They're like, and
And
on
the
the other
former
side of that, behind the scenes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, oh, I forgot to tell you this last time. Another one of the coincidences is, did you know, had you heard that Jeffrey Epstein won the Powerball lottery? Did you know that? Back in,
With that one yet.
yeah, so he won twice.
Oh, of course he won
Twice. And so one time he won $80 million, and the other time he won $29 million, which makes me think that the lotteries might be rigged, maybe.
Well, we know the lottery.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, could it be
Well-
more obvious? But I think statistically you have a better chance of getting hit by lightning 7 times, I believe it is, than winning the lottery once. And this fool won twice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one.
Yep. So that I just looked it up yesterday to do the fact check on it.
Why would they not run the lottery? Why would they
I mean,
not?
why that might be easier than having him steal, say, the Mona Lisa or whatever. Like, he needs funding somehow, right?
Right.
And they're probably like, I know a guy. He runs the lottery in your state. Da 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 da. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So anyhow, all right. So let's move on to this dumpster. I mean, Trumpster.
Appears in the unredacted.
So this is more good work, if I do say so myself. If I do say so myself, let me not quote Jay-Z today. Okay.
Yeah.
Not so much. Okay. So this is just a little quick breakdown of this man's just breaking it down by the numbers, I think he says. Yeah.
Trump's name appears in the unredacted Epstein files more than 1 million times, according to Congressman Jamie Raskin. As some have noted, that's 100 times as often as God is referenced in the Bible.
The Bible is just something very special.
And Trump's Justice Department seems to have been working overtime to remove references to Trump.
I think it's time.
I didn't mean to do that. That was because I closed my thing.
That's like me.
Take 2. So now I gotta stop share. That was retarded. And totally my bad.
All of them are retarded.
Yeah. I have this board, it's called Trumpstein. Might as well.
That song is what we should use to make our board with the screen.
We should definitely just keep making songs. The process is simple as long as you've done the research, Okay. Take 2.
Right here.
Okay, so we'll start with his name has appeared a million times.
Trump's name appears in the unredacted Epstein files more than 1 million times, according to Congressman Jamie Raskin. As some have noted, that's 100 times as often as God is referenced in the Bible.
The Bible is just something very special.
And Trump's Justice Department seems to have been working overtime to remove references to Trump.
I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
Maybe not just yet. Let's take a quick look at the Epstein files.
We'll just do
by
this
the
for now.
numbers. 13. The age of one of Trump's accusers when Trump allegedly forced her to perform an act on a part of his body, and she responded by biting that body part. Less than 24 hours. How long it took for Trump's Justice Department to mysteriously delete that accusation from the published files. After people noticed it had been deleted, and that started to turn into a scandal, they put it back, also without explanation. And did Epstein have anything to do with this number? His close friend and Trump confidant Steve Bannon seemed to think so. The files include footage from a celebratory film Bannon was making about Epstein, in which he asked,
Do you think you're the devil himself? I don't know. Why would you say that?
3.5 million pages. That's how much of the Epstein files Trump's Justice Department has released, and as much as they say we're ever going to get.
You're talking about pieces of paper that stack from the ground to 2 Eiffel Towers.
But that's still less than 60% of the estimated 6 million pages Trump's Justice Department was legally required to release by December 19th. What are they hiding? Here are some more numbers. Dozens of powerful men revealed in the files to have ties to Epstein. More than $1.4 trillion, the combined net worth of the richest men named in the Epstein files. That's more than the entire GDP of Saudi Arabia. 1,200, the number of women and children the Justice Department estimates Epstein and his co-conspirators victimized. 1, the number of people serving time for those crimes. 0, how many more prosecutions Trump's Justice Department seems to be planning over those crimes.
It is not a crime to party with Mr. Epstein.
By the way, that's Todd Blanche, who is now Deputy Attorney General, and previously was Trump's personal criminal defense lawyer in his New York trial. That's right, one of the top people now deciding who, if anyone, will face justice for involvement in Epstein's crimes, previously worked to shield Trump from justice for crimes he was found guilty of. More than 500 Epstein files pages the Trump's Justice Department completely redacted. That is, the whole page blacked out. 43 Epstein survivors Trump's Justice Department accidentally doxed because it was seemingly so busy redacting references to Trump that it forgot to protect some of the only people whose names, faces, and in some cases nude photos should have been redacted. 2012. The year Trump's Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick arranged to visit Epstein's island. That's funny because Lutnick had previously claimed he'd ended his friendship with Epstein in 2005. 2012 was also the year Elon Musk asked Epstein if he could come to his island whenever the, quote, wildest party would be. Remember, this was 4 years after Epstein had already pled guilty and served time for doing things to children I can't say without getting this video flagged. 2015 was when Musk and Mark Zuckerberg were photographed dining with Epstein, 7 years after Epstein was a convicted child predator. At least 2,200 times that Palantir co-founder Peter Thiel appears in the Epstein files. Thiel's the tech bro who spent $15 million launching J.D. Vance into politics, and who has openly advocated for ending American democracy in favor of a dictatorship friendly to tech billionaires. Thiel has
Yeah.
also complained that America has been in decline ever since women got the right to vote. 3 years. How long Epstein's brother has been waiting for a response from the FBI after he contacted them saying he had reason to believe Trump had ordered the end of his brother's life. 49% of Americans believe Trump is engaged in a cover-up. 0%. The odds I'd lay on Americans taking Trump's advice that we just all need to move on from Epstein.
Nothing to see here, queen.
I'm Alan Piper at apiper13 and Piper
You
Ron.
are Alan Piper. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's by the numbers.
Alan Piper.
That's a lot of numbers. A lot of times to appear in the Epstein files. I just like I don't know any pedophiles. I don't hang out with any. I don't
Why would
that I know of. I mean, you know, I think I know.
Yeah, like why would
Why would you? So one of the most
they make me sick? That shit is making me sick.
I don't want to make you sick, but I
Like,
do want.
what do they just like have dinner and talk about this shit like normal? I can't.
I know. Like, what do you think? Like, do they like? I mean, okay, so the symbolism is a big part of it, of course, but like, can't imagine just being at a party and be like, hey, you know, like you like kids or something. Like, it's just so weird.
The video that leaked, and this guy was talking about the villas on the island, and the other guy was like, "Do the kids come with the villas?" And he was like, "Well, there is a school on that."
The real estate, yeah, the real estate.
Real estate.
In the Epstein files that I've seen, there's a lot of properties. Like, there's a real estate person sending him properties constantly, and they're all compounds. None of them are just like single family residences. They're like compounds. Yeah. So that, you know, the little girl whose diary we read last time, how we read some of it. Huh?
The encrypted one.
Yeah, exactly. She definitely she was there a long time, wherever there is. She mentioned Mar-Lago, but she wasn't there. She was at an Epstein property. I thought it was Zorro Ranch, but somebody said it was outside of Florida. So that just says that he had so many, and all we ever hear about is the island. Like, this Justice Department is so full of shit, and they're so out of pocket that I just feel like
the other properties are probably in the other 3 million files that have been completely redacted from anybody seeing. Like, can you imagine?
I think a lot of them might be underground. Like, we've been hearing about this for so long, the tunnels underground, and like there was tunnels.
That's what we can handle. If they give us the rest, our heads are gonna fucking explode.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
They don't care if our heads explode, though. So I don't know if that's
No, but they do care that we're gonna become tyrants if they give us the rest. It's not
Right.
about our heads.
Well-
exploding. They would prefer that our heads explode, but they know that people are gonna become violent if they give them fucking download at the same time.
right.
If they give us all the downloads at the same time, nobody's going to be normal anymore.
I just
There
feel
will
like
be
if they
nobody-
divvy it out, then we'll just get time to like collect our thoughts and come at them like, I don't know. You might be right.
No,
think-
everybody has a button where everybody has a
They
point.
know.
They no longer will become nonviolent.
Right. Right.
Will remain nonviolent. Excuse me.
Right. And they know. They know about
they
our
know
brains.
what
Yeah.
that is because they've studied our minds. This is what MK Ultra and all this other shit. They've studied our minds for so long. They know what our fucking breaking points are at this point, and they know that if they release that other shit, it's a wrap. Revelation.
What if the whole point of this is like to release it just to show us that there's nothing we can do about it, because they have all the courts, they have all the drones, they have all of this, they have all of that, they have everything. Like, so what if the whole point is just to show us like this is going on and you can't touch us?
I mean, that's been the point of everything that they do. It's been the point of everything that they do. And so like they've desensitized us at COVID, and all of that was that was like
The social test, the social
that
experiment
was the quest of like
to see who would comply, Yep. And who wouldn't.
And then once we feel like enough of them are compliant through social media and everybody's a fucking zombie and just wants to be cool and do a TikTok dance, then when we release shit, we're going to have this many conspirators. Everybody else is not going to believe them because they're fucking warped. And then we'll release half of that. It's, man, this shit they've been planning for so many years. This ain't nothing. We've known
I don't
this.
know. We might, yeah. I think it's still important. I think that we would do well to remember that even the people that are scared of doing this illegal or unlawfully or whatever, that yeah, all the burning shit and all the killing and stuff, that's illegal and it's unlawful. Same stuff they've been doing, by the way, but it's illegal and unlawful. But taking over a tyrannical government is actually constitutional. For those who want to stand by the Constitution, we are allowed to do that. That's what the Constitution is for. We should get rid of it.
So far, we're allowed to do that. So far.
So far, yeah, the Constitution is subject to change at any time. So here's a theory. Wait,
I literally think that that's exactly what they're doing and why we have a file.
I mean, but a piece of paper is a piece of paper anyway. We still have free will. And if we were coerced into some sort of crazy agreement, it was against our free will because we did not understand the agreement. We do not speak that language. We do not speak legalese, most of us. And whatever it is that they thought that we agreed to, we did not. It is not informed in consent because we were not informed. And I stand by that. I do not comply with any of the shit they're throwing our way. That is my official word and legally, and that is my bond. Bam, bitches. Okay, so I found this theory to be super interesting. This was prior to this last dump of discussed, but it still would stand. Like it's fun to think about, in my opinion. So, and this woman is she's brilliant in her own right. So, people. So let me know what you think about this theory. Okay. And this was based off of something that was in the first file dump, I believe. And she'll explain what it is as she goes right here, right now. Except for where did it go? Oh, there. Come on, lady.
Jeffrey Epstein. Hey, has it occurred to anyone yet that Jeffrey Epstein was suspicious that Donald Trump was working for the government and that he was an asset? He was an asset. And I haven't baked yet which government, but a government. Because this email here, I think, is being widely misinterpreted. And hear me out. April 2nd, 2011, Jeffrey Epstein writes an email, private email, no other recipients, to Ghislaine Maxwell. And he says, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. This particular victim, and based on what Caroline said today, it's Virginia, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. And she says, I have been thinking about that, ... Everyone is misinterpreting that to mean that Donald Trump hasn't said something. He hasn't talked because they're saying that the dog that hasn't barked. And so they're interpreting Donald Trump has not talked. But that doesn't make any sense, in my opinion, in this context. The dog that hasn't barked is a reference to a Sherlock Holmes story wherein someone is dead and a witness says, I don't think there was anything weird because the stable dog didn't bark. And Sherlock Holmes says the dog not barking is suspicious. The absence of the thing is evidence. The thing that should have happened not happening is suspicious. It has piqued my suspicion. The name that should have been named, that is conspicuously not named, is Trump. That's what that sentence means. Virginia spent hours at my house with him. I have personal knowledge that he should be named if she's naming any names. I was an eyewitness to events that would make me believe the name should have been named. So pairing this dog that hasn't barked plus the police chief, I'm 75% convinced of this theory that we've talked about. And she said, yeah, he finds it suspicious. So maybe he paid her off. But we know this is 2011. And maybe this means that he knows, because of the whole police chief thing, that his name was named during the investigation from his first arrest, sweetheart deal that resulted in 2008. This is all very suspicious to him. And 2011 was when Jeffrey Epstein was trying to make his comeback into the social spheres after his arrest. So, and all the other emails really seem like he's trying to figure out ways to capitalize on information he has. For example, Epstein writes to Wolf, if we were able, so Wolf says to Epstein, he's gonna, in 2015, he's gonna give an interview to CNN, and there's a very good chance that they're going to ask about your relationship. And Epstein says, well, if we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be? And Wolf says, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says that he's never been on the plane or to your house, that'll give you valuable currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Meaning, if he says that he's never been, if he tries to distance himself from you, now you could use it to get social currency by being like, actually, guys, here's the truth. And then everyone will love you again because you're being honest. Or if it looks like he could really win, you could save it and generate a debt between you. Now he owes you something because you have something on him that you could have given up. He's absolutely been on the plane. Look at my logs. So we know that he's very much wheeling and dealing and scheming, which gives additional context to this, where he's just like trying to figure out how the fuck it is that this guy hasn't been named when he knows he's fucking guilty. What if he suspected that in addition to paying her off, that the police knew that there was that he was guilty and that they have also held his name back because perhaps similar to Acosta saying in 2019 that the sweetheart deal with Epstein was because he was told that he belongs to intelligence. What if Trump did too?
He killed that.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting theory. If you think about it, what if they were both agents? Like because the CIA does that all the time. I mean, like Mr. and Mr. Smith, basically. And they were both perfect candidates because they both were nasty motherfuckers anyway. And so they did that. And then Trump promised the files. The first ones were mild, like his name was in it, but it wasn't like what we're seeing now. And so he hasn't complied. He hasn't done what he's gonna do, said he was gonna do for whoever is the puppet masters. And so now they're like, fuck it, let's ruin this dude. Let's ruin him. Let's put like, or there's some good guys in the FBI that were supposed to redact his name and they didn't. And his team is too sloppy to double check, maybe, or because the first files went out and they weren't so bad, that maybe this time they're like, okay, let's slip some through because this motherfucker is all over the files. Maybe they got fired now or something, but because I don't know. But the fact that Virginia didn't mention his name is interesting.
Yeah, that shit is that. Her whole explanation for 7 minutes, she covered Greta.
Yes, she did. She did. I don't know.
Yeah, she did that. That was some good journalism.
Right. Super interesting. But we do know that Trump, if he was playing a role, he played the hell out of that role, and people were very hurt, because that's who he is. Clearly, that's who he is, and we know that because
that's what he does.
Yeah, but you don't you play the role by hurting people, and like there's so many people he could have saved. Like it's just crazy to think. But because he has so many mob ties with his construction stuff, I could see how he could turn snitch. Like he could totally be an asset. He could have been an asset, which would lend itself to the idea that he should. Like, how did he become president? Because he's dirty as fuck. He's dirty. Like, you're not supposed to become president. Obama, they
for these games, right?
Yeah, but still, like, he shouldn't have become president with as much dirt as on him. Like, he never should have become a candidate. Like, I get it. You can buy yourself in, but like, everybody's like pretends to be squeaky clean. And I don't know. This dude is dirty as hell. Like, he's so dirty. And that's why I feel like we know this now. Like, the dirt's coming out because somebody wants it to come out because they're done with him. They want to clean house and start over with whoever is going to come up and save the day. It's going to be somebody that's like, we're a two-party system. We're for everyone. Join us. One world, one people.
Yeah, it's going to be a one world, worlder.
For sure.
A one world.
So speaking of Trump playing his role, this got to me. This was hella sad to me. She's gonna talk a little bit about the girl that we already saw her diary, but it bears repeating. Who gives a damn? Poor girl. I don't think she's probably not alive anymore. The decoded coded diary. I would guess. I don't wish that for her, but I mean, where'd she go? But something that she says in here about Trump and Ivana when they were getting divorced that I found extremely relevant for all those who think that Trump isn't in it. He's not so bad. He did it, but it didn't. Wrong.
Epstein files is this little girl's diary entry. She writes multiple diaries and she writes everything in code, as you can see here. This diary is specifically from when she was 16 years old. Not only did she code her sentences, but she actually cut stuff out of magazines and implemented them into this scrapbook diary. I'd like you to pay close attention to down here. Ivana Trump is talking about her divorce with Donald Trump, and she is basically saying that she wants to come out of the divorce with dignity. And then I want to take you over to this sentence, and I have decoded this sentence for you. To decode it, you start at the top and then go down and then right and then down and then right and then down, and it creates different words. This is what it said. Does this lady know that you can't have any dignity if you've been with him? I know I've had none. Now, I don't know why this is hitting me so hard because there are so many harrowing pieces of information in the Jeffrey Epstein. I think it is the fact that we have this victim's personal thoughts and feelings spread out in such raw and honest information. This is a 16-year-old victim talking about the president of the United States. This victim has multiple diaries, and she actually goes on to talk about how she has multiple pregnancies and the pregnancies are taken off of her. And she becomes a human incubator. She becomes a human incubator for these fucking monsters. We aren't angry enough. What 16-year-old girl needs to speak in code in her own diary? I'm trying not to cry because I don't want to cry. I don't want to push it across the message and people to say that I'm melodramatic. But this is fucking horrific. If you don't understand that, then there is no hope for you at all. A 16-year-old who explains in explicit details how people have systematically destroyed her confidence. She feels like she has no dignity, that she is an incubator, that she has, honestly, I can't even. For anyone that is siding with Donald Trump, there is a special place in hell for you. You have multiple pieces of evidence, not for fame or fortune or for clout or fake news. This is private thought of a 16-year-old girl believing that nobody was going to find this diary. And if this doesn't fucking prove it for you, I don't know what will.
Don't you know that you can't have any dignity when you've been with him is crazy to me. Like, that's like...
I mean, so, yeah, some of the videos that I watched, dignity couldn't have ever been a conversation. It's so horrific to me. I'm like, ugh.
I guess the last thing would be, I haven't watched this yet. I guess people from Congress have received the unredacted files. And this is like his raw reaction. I'm sure it's a representative with the last name Gomez. I'm not familiar with him, but that's what I know.
What first name?
His name is Rep. His first name's Rep. His last name is Gomez. Jimmy Gomez.
Where's he from?
I'm not sure. That's why I don't know. I just saw that he reviews the unredacted Epstein files, and here's what happened. So we'll see.
Folks, I'm about to head out. Leave my phone.
He looks like he's happy right there. An hour and 57 minutes. Doesn't look happy anymore.
Yeah, he looks like help.
It was pretty overwhelming. I mean, there's millions of records. One of the things I did, I wanted to see how many times Donald Trump's name came up, and it was over 16,000 times. I think that's already kind of out there in the public. But I really went through a list of documents that the committee wanted me to look up. And some of it was dealing with emails that somebody sent to Jeffrey Epstein with like a photo of a 10-year-old girl. So I got the name of that person. I'm going to give that to the committee. What it is, it's shocking, is like a lot of these people that were pushing these underage women were women. It's a little overwhelming, so I'm just going to kind of get my thoughts together, but put stuff together for the committee so the committee can do their job. And
I said, even him, he seems like a nice guy. Maybe he's trying to do the right thing, but even him just said underage women.
Right. They just,
it doesn't exist. It's in the psyche of the nation. It's just fucking foul.
But particularly men, particularly women. They've been taught to think that everything is a woman so that they can justify
so crazy
thinking the thoughts that they think. I mean, this is even why, like we're just now getting to a point where people are realizing that grown-ass women have pubic hair. Like, why are
Right,
you
right, right, right.
Yes, with every fucking grown woman looking like a little mole rat, looking
Right.
like she's 11
Little
and
girl.
hasn't hit puberty yet. What the fuck
Right,
is wrong
right.
with y'all? That's pedophilia.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you're
Fucking
you're
crazy.
it doesn't even make logical sense that a man like discussing oral sex would be like, I'm offended by a girl having pubic hair because my face goes on it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you got facial hair.
Right.
There's
Exactly.
already hair on
I
your
know that.
fucking face.
But if you have problems like that with any kind of sexual activity, then you're not ready to have sex. You're a child yourself. So let's not
Like, you have literal
facial
hair
hair.
on your
Right.
face.
Right. They
And
just
you're talking about where you're about to put your face in the hair that's down there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, so many things that men consider, like, even like, look, the boobs just sit up. Like, oh, girls should have implants. Why? The last time a girl's boobs were to sit up, or it's going to be like in their 18, 19
12,
after
13.
that.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
You don't
even younger,
know.
like when they first start growing up.
Right. Like, everything is so very.
It's about the young. And I think that part of that, honestly, and I believe this is my theory when it comes to music, but I won't even put it in that context because I think it applies here. It's that the reason why age is stigmatized and why people over a certain age are belittled and kind of brushed aside as far as the things that they say and the things they believe. I think because it's not because you grow worse with age. It's because you grow smarter. And so the best way to, you want to belittle people that have intelligence because you don't want people listening to them. All right.
So many men, even friends in my life, that are just like, oh, I was having a conversation with somebody not too long ago, and he was like, at your age, women are washed up. And I just started busting up laughing. I was like,
Keep on thinking that, baby. Then that's whatever. But it shows me who you are because you want somebody that is young, mind is moldable, and that you can control, and you're lightweight a pedophile. So that's that you can groom, basically grooming.
I say it all the time. I'm like, if anybody who thinks like that, you just haven't been put in a position where you wouldn't get caught for doing the weird shit that you have in your mind.
Right.
That's the only reason why you think women my age are washed up.
Which, by the way, it's like day 7,000, I think, that where David hasn't been arrested yet, that singer with the girl.
Oh, they killed the girlfriend?
Yeah. Allegedly, possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, it ain't looking good. He knew something, but why is he still walking around? I just feel like it's just the system it's a wild.
He's probably gonna be in the race for vice president.
I know, right? He's gonna take over. Yeah, it's gonna be diversity. So let's see what else he has to say. I guess there's not much left, but we'll see.
Do their work because that's what this is about, is holding people accountable. It's not about press. It's not about going viral. It's about holding people accountable for what they did to young women. That's what that's about.
Children. God, he just lost me at that. Like, I don't even want to. Did you see the files? Do we care if it's all files?
Young women. Oh my God.
God, it's like sugarcoat. It's like polishing a piece of shit to present it. It's like you can't do that. It doesn't work. Dumbass. I just have cussed so much in the last couple weeks. I'm just like,
I stopped and I doubled.
What, fuckity fuck?
Yeah, like I tried to stop cussing and it just got.
Oh yeah. I know. I tried to too, and I really did. But in this instance, I think it's appropriate. It's absolutely appropriate. There's not. If they can eat kids, we can say bad words.
Yeah, everybody's reaction is the dude in the airport. Like, I know everybody's like, what? And in my head, I'm like, that's what I actually thought everybody was gonna do. Like, I thought the airport was gonna look like a riot zone.
Yeah, everybody was gonna stand up.
You guys were gonna be like outside hanging off of the wheels of the airplanes and shit, so they couldn't take off. Like, that's what I thought was gonna happen. For sure.
I mean, yeah, they're still protesting ICE and shit out there. I'm just not really on anything else right now, which is annoying. But it's just like, I just don't feel like, I'm just like, dear ICE, you suck ass, but I'm going to deal with the kids right now. And then, but we don't want,
the whole revenue thing, but like,
it's the whole system though. It's all connected. It's all connected. ICE is going in and grabbing children.
Isn't ICE just another
Trafficking hub
agency that's going to probably sell more babies to this same bullshit agency we're discussing in these islands and these people and these fucking weirdos? Like, it's just all one big thing.
Yeah,
We go-
and sending
Right.
children separated from the parents off to some place that they're not from to just sit in a place that it's all the same shit. Biden lost like
It's like walking
350,000
money. It's
children.
like walking money. They're taking the kids, sending them to all these countries, getting rid of their identity, and they'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Yeah.
That's why they said that they've been flying them around in these private jets, and some of them are going. They're just flying in circles.
Yeah,
Oh,
Biden
crazy.
was doing that shit. That was
Exactly.
wild.
That's all they're gonna do. They're gonna wash them like money, bring them back, and keep recycling.
They
this
don't
crap.
remember, and they're literally
1,200 is a crazy fucking lie. 1,200 women and children were hurt.
that's a lie. I heard it was when Pam Bondi said, yeah, no, Pam Bondi said 30,000. She said 30,000 initially, and so we know she's a liar. So that's that. Actually, did you want to see some of her testimony, or you saw it?
What, Pam Bondi?
Yeah.
I mean, play what you got. I saw a whole bunch of just random.
Yeah, it's probably the same stuff, but I don't know. In case people haven't, I think it's good to just do that since we have a second. But that bitch, I do not. Oh God, I just think that what I think is that she's MK Ultra. Like she has to be. Like she has to be completely gone in her brain. She's like the new. Because she believes what she says. I think she believes.
That's what I think about. What's her name?
Who?
Charlie
Yeah.
Kirk's wife.
Oh, I don't even think. I think Candace has been uncovering so much stuff about that Erica chick on my subreddit too. A lot of stuff. She's like, Candace found out like she was having. This is allegedly. I haven't looked at myself, but that she was having an affair with a 15-year-old girl. Like she's one of them. You heard about the Romanian thing?
I mean, which part?
Where she was like helping the orphanage in Romania with
yeah,
food
when
or-
they put her ass
yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and that Romania is a huge hub for selling children, I'll say.
Mhm.
So it just don't look good for her.
Doing that when she was fucking 17 or something. Like,
Right. How you get that? How'd that work out? Like it's just
exactly.
yeah, exactly. Like how did Epstein get in the room with all those
Yeah, we
people?
were like at pep rallies at that age.
Ask Merrick Garland the last 4 years. Did you talk about Epstein?
Reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland because this is bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer
This,
the question,
this goes over 4 administrations. You don't have to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades. You are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
Now,
where the
I want to know at what point did the FBI, the DOJ, decide that Lex Wessner was not co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other. The gentleman has expired.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, this is a good time to introduce this subreddit then. This is my subreddit, the Kids Do subreddit. So these are all contributors.
Forget that.
So these are all contributions from people, and myself included. So anybody that wants to get caught up on like some of the lesser known stuff, besides that, that was just something somebody did. But there was a picture I posted actually. Yeah, Pam Bondi. I know I'm going fast, but I'm looking for something specific. Let's see if we can hear this.
Epstein files.
Can you hear
Mike,
it? Love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files. Like Prince, the video.
I'm just having
Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one who asked that those files.
I reclaim my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no
President
evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please
the
stop the
House
clock.
to
Please stop
sign
the clock.
the legislation.
Time.
This is
Time.
I'd like to
Time
reclaim my
belongs,
time.
time belongs to the gentleman from California.
I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center. because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a
I
crime.
believe you just lied under oath, and this is on videotape. You said there's no evidence of crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off. And officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell. So should the men who patronized his operation. And as we say here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
Yeah, she don't even seem real. She
Right. She's-
like I don't even know what reaction that was. What you call that? That was like
that's when I almost felt sorry for her because she was like, she just looked so like caught off guard or something. But that just makes me think her brain is.
I mean, it could be white cognitive dissonance. I mean,
That's what I mean. Huge, like, yeah,
it doesn't even seem like cognitive dissonance. It doesn't even seem like she's smart enough to access that part of her and use it.
right. She's completely a shell. She's an NPC that was actually put on the stand. So
That part.
Oh,
I'm
this
like,
one.
none of that even seems.
That's. Oh God, they posted so many. There was this one picture I wanted to show you that for some reason it bothered me so much out of all the pictures. Okay, I posted that. So then there's so much here. Yeah, that's gross. He's gross.
Like,
That's
never
gross.
That's my girl right there, though.
She's talking
Anna?
about that.
Yeah, Anna.
What's her name?
Anna.
Okay, I'm not familiar with her, but I will.
What, from the Young Turks?
This is
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah, yeah.
This one bothered me. This picture.
What the fuck is that?
It's redacted. That just bothers me so much for some reason.
What is the assumption here? What are we supposed to get from this redacted image?
That's my question. I'm just
Well,
like,
there's somebody standing. Well, because I know that the little shadow right there isn't the
Right.
shadow of the damn redaction.
right. So it's a child, it looks like.
That's a small person.
Like, why would they release? Like, it's just, that's just dirty. Like, the person that released this is just a piece of shit, too. Because that's just like, who is the child? Did you rescue that? What are we doing? Like,
No, you probably threw them in the ocean.
right.
Let
That's
them
the
drown.
thing.
That's what you.
That's hella foul. So, yeah, I just wanted to show that because that really bothered me. Ugh, yeah.
And the poor child probably willingly walked into the ocean because the only other option was to go
Right. Go back to the.
back
Wonder if
home.
that's I wonder if that's the shore of the island or if that's like land. Who knows? I don't know. I feel sick. I gotta go.
Yeah, go.
I will talk to you.
We'll talk soon.
Yes. Adios. Adios.
QuikTok. Full episodes available on QuikTokShow.com and YouTube.